Hey, what's going on? It's Charlie coming at you again, just with a quick video. So, if you were following the markets today, you probably saw that Bitcoin regained some of its value back. I'm not sure that that's going to sustain, but the last video I made, I had been making a prediction. So I'd been making a prediction that Ethereum would jump up to the 0.142 level of Bitcoin. By my white line, you can see that's what I was kind of thinking would happen, and I was basing that off of the past. So here's what happened. As you can see, the highest Ethereum got was 0.1238. I think I mentioned this in a video, but one of the things I was looking for before I traded the Ethereum back into Bitcoin was I was waiting for the 7 line, the 7 candle line, to trend downward again. And it did that. I'm going to try to zoom in here so you can see what I'm talking about. So this blue line dipped down. I saw that as a sign to go ahead and exchange back into Bitcoin. I didn't want to ride the blue line all the way down to the yellow line. I wanted to take as much profits as I possibly could. So I ended up, I believe, selling my Ethereum at around the 0.110 or 0.109 level. So then today, what did I do? Today, just made several trades, just trying to gain as much Bitcoin value as I could. I think my account grew by about 2% today. So I started off by trading for ARK coin and made a couple of percent on that. And then I traded for Litecoin, made about 1% on that. I wasn't liking how that was setting up. Traded for ADA. That was probably the best one. That was about a 3% gain. And Neo at one point. So, like if I go to my trade history, it was just kind of one of those days where Bitcoin just stayed flat. And those can be great days. Those can be days where you could pick a great winner, or you could pick one that just barely trends up. So I bought ARK at 52.99 level. Ended up selling it at 53.90, so that was about a 2% pickup. I bought Neo at 13,661. I sold it at 13,828. Bought ADA at 52.21 level, and I sold ADA at 52.15, so that was about 2% gain. Oh, Hash Share, I forgot I bought that one. The 1348 level. That's when I bought that, and I sold it. I sold it pretty quick after gaining 1% at 1364. I just really wasn't liking the volume that was going through on that one. And then Litecoin, I bought it at 17,188 and sold it at 17,250. Again, I just wasn't liking how it was setting up. Bitcoin was starting to fall, and Litecoin a lot of times follows Bitcoin. So I ended up selling that. But so now what I'm doing is I am trying to find another trading pair that I would like to buy. So the way you do that is, or the way I do it anyway, is I go to the exchange. So this is the basic exchange on Binance. You find your trading pair. So for me, that's Bitcoin. So if you were doing Ethereum, it would be there. If you're doing Binance Coin, it would be there. If you were trading with USDT, it would be there. So this is interesting. All of the different coins that you can trade against the dollar are up on the day. They had all been down for a while. So I don't think that this trend is going to sustain. Again, Well, actually, let me really quickly show you. All right, so I'm back on TradingView now. I'm going to show you Bitcoin to the USD in Coinbase. So again, this is a chart that I've drawn. Sorry about that. I drew this chart quite some time ago, and here we are. So there is I drew a Fibonacci. That's what this rainbow looking thing is, and I drew this triangle, and it was kind of all of the energy that started back in December, and it's been basically consolidating till now. And we're coming towards the end of this consolidation period, but there is this line right here, and it's right at $9,408. That seems to be a a point of contention right now with the trading that's going on. Bitcoin is struggling to surpass that, and I went ahead and highlighted it. And if you go here to the past, that was actually a floor over here back on December 1st. So that seems to be a ceiling over here. It was a floor over here, and now it's a ceiling over here. So what do I think is going to happen? I think that when we wake up tomorrow morning, or when I wake up, I'm in Central. It's 10:24 Central Time in the United States, according to the TradingView calendar. We are in the 0 hour. I have a feeling that when we wake up tomorrow morning, there are going to be some red candles, and we might be touching lows for 2018. Obviously not lows for Bitcoin, but lows for 2018. I would not be surprised to wake up in the morning and find Bitcoin at, I don't know, 7,400 or less. So we'll see. That's kind of what I think is going to happen. And I think that the next point that we should be looking as a buy point on Bitcoin, and again, right now I'm trading with Bitcoin again, so if Bitcoin drops, my value of Bitcoin as far as my total Bitcoin amount will not change. Obviously, the value to USD will change as it drops, but I'm not really concerned about that. My goal, as I've stated, is to just grow my Bitcoin value. But I think we could wake up in the morning and find that Bitcoin is at 7,400 or less, and the next buy point would probably be, I think if you buy it anywhere 7,000 or less, that's a great buy. And I think that we're going to, in the near future, when I say that, in February, I think that we will start to see an uptrend in Bitcoin. And this line is going to continue to be this line right here around $9,300, $9,400. That's going to be a marker that you can keep your eye on, to where when the Bitcoin price surpasses that amount and kind of gets into this green level of the Fibonacci, once it surpasses that, that will be a good sign. And then I suspect that it'll kind of dance around in here. And then once you see it get above this line here, which is the $11,667 to USD mark, it'll start bouncing around here. And I think we're going to have a sustained uptrend for a while. But you could be looking at a really great buy tomorrow or Monday on Bitcoin, so keep your eyes open for that in case you're watching this, and I will be for sure. Let's see, what else can I show you? So let me just go into Binance really quick, and I'll show you kind of how I find a trading pair that I want to buy, so you can kind of see the logic behind it. And so I'll just pick one here. So, all right, here's a good one. Cardano, ADA. Let's go in. That was one that I was buying earlier today. So I'm going to go and I'm finding the ADA to Bitcoin in Binance because that's where I'm trading. And what I'm looking for, and I broke my own rules earlier today, but what I'm typically looking for is for this blue line to be surpassing the yellow line. And as you can see, we are getting very close to doing that. But the other things I look at, sometimes Binance doesn't have a ton of trading history, so I might go back to the Bittrex account or Bittrex site and just kind of see historically where ADA is falling, and there's not much more history here. So you'll see that Cardano has been trading favorably to Bitcoin since, like a lot of coins, since the early part of, or middle part of December. So it had a pretty nice run, broke down around January 10th, and it's been kind of doing this dance here. You'll see the 231 line is still trending up, but the 77 line is starting to dip down. A perfect sign, you could say, as a buy signal would be if the blue line was surpassing the yellow line and the 231, the yellow line, and the blue line were all pointed up. It's hard to see that. So they're all pointed up together. It's not necessarily a good sign when the blue and the yellow are below the 231, because that's going to mean a lot of downward pressures pushing down on the prices. So when all of them are in alignment and kind of pointing up together, that's going to be a good sign. You're going to have a lot of momentum behind it. Right now, I feel like if you can squeak out 1 or 2%, just take it. It's hard to, well, it's hard for me. I don't know if it's hard for everybody else. It's hard for me to find coins, unless you just get lucky, where you're going to have a 10 or 15% gain in a day. So for me, I'm just looking to hopefully catch a trend, catch a wave, and ride it for about 1 or 2%. And I am not shy about just taking my profits and locking them in and walking away. I'm not a buy and hold guy right now. I mean, it could be at some point that I'll get to that point, but right now that's not my strategy. So anyway, I hope this is helpful to you. So again, just as a reminder, the yellow line is a 77 candle moving average. The blue line is a 7. And I do have this red line. It's a 21 candle. And the reason why I use the red line is because sometimes that's a good indicator of a buy. You can shrink from a 343-minute to a 30-minute candle. And if you see the blue line, here's a good example. So again, we're still on the ADA chart. So look, it looks a lot different on a 30-minute candle. As soon as this blue line went above the red, that would be a signal of a bull run starting. And as you can see, we've kind of been in that bull run since whatever this time was. TradingView uses, so this would be like in the United Kingdom, 6 o'clock in the morning UK time. That was probably around 10 or 11 o'clock my time. So really, all day long, ADA has been in a somewhat bull run, and it hasn't stopped. And a good time to know when it's a good time to sell is when the blue line dips below. So I sold around here. It looked like the blue line was about to go below the red, and I just kind of took that as my opportunity to get out. So anyway, that's what the red line is in here for. It's just kind of a signal that I use on the 30-minute candles. Anyway, that's it for today. I hope that you had fun trading your crypto today. Hope you're enjoying this channel, and we'll talk to you next time.